Okay, day 3, and what I've done is just clean these pieces up a little bit and drilled holes through them to fit the pins, and obviously moved the Mini up here into the garage. So what I'm doing now is fitting this up to make sure that I've got the right lineup and everything. I've already put this on once and did a rotation with the whole end of this, making sure that it wouldn't swing up too high and hit onto the thumb, and making sure I had the right range of motion with everything. What I'm going to end up looking for is the correct play in here, and what I have to do is make a spacer that's going to weld to here, and then that will ride right against this here, and you can see it better on this side. This is where the bushing from the bucket right in here, that's where that rides. I don't have bushings. I'm not going to buy bushings. I'm just going to make a makeshift spacer. It's going to be rough cut on the inside because I'm not drilling a hole through 1-inch steel and ruining a couple bits. So I'll see how it goes with the torch. If I can get a nice clean cut, clean it up to where I'm happy with it, then that's what will stay. I'll look at it. I'll make the decision then. We'll see. Let me get this back together and I'll show you where I'm measuring. So what I'm looking for inside here is the exact measurement I have over here, which we're looking at about 7 1/8 inch. So just throwing it on there, going with 7 1/8 inch, you can see that I've got a gap right in here and back here, whereas this pivots, it's going to miss. The same on this side. So that's looking pretty good. Now inside, to get that, I'm looking at roughly 1 inch. It's just a hair over is what it looks like to me. Well, it's about exactly 1 inch. I'm just trying to line up the end of the tape measure with one hand like I'm doing it to go to line up with this. So I'm going to put a spacer in that's 1 inch. If it's bigger, all it's going to do is slide this out more and I'll have more play. So it's not going to hurt anything. So that's where I'm at. Next step is going to be to mark out these spacers. I'll just measure these bushings on here and get a measurement on them, and then I know approximately how big I need to do it around, and make them that big, and then the inside diameter for the pin. Just like the one on the bucket, I'm going to have to clean this up and bevel the edge a little bit. I'll show you what I mean. right here, because that will just make it easier for getting it hooked up. This is a fairly tight fit in here, but this bevel helps you slide down in where you need to when you're hooking up your tool. Okay, so I'm going to get the other two on this side real quick, and then probably just see how they fit and make sure everything stays square how I want it. So what we've got is the bracket, the spacers are in, and everything is just in there. It's snug how it wants to fit, how I want it to fit, but it's loose. It's not tacked or welded. This is the plate that I'm going to use. Well, let me get the hook and put that on there and see what that's going to look like. Something just about like that. Now that's with the hook part here totally closed. So I think it's going to work out perfect. Now I just have to watch the thumb, just like the bucket. If you have your thumb down, you can hook into the bucket. So I think I've got a pretty good overall layout for everything. I like it. I'm going to measure for the bottom, cut this plate to size, get everything cleaned up, and then start tacking things together. We'll go from there. Alright, everything has been cleaned up so that I can do the welding on it. It's in position. And I'm going to go ahead and tack a few spots around here. Same up on the inside with the spacers on both sides. And then up underneath here, I'll put a couple tacks. Once that's all done, I'll curl the bucket all the way around so that I can set the plate in here flat. I'll do just a couple overhead tacks for that, and then I'll have the whole attachment part of it tacked in place and ready to weld out. So that's the next step. Here we go. Well, we're going to wrap it up for tonight. I got the plate, everything tacked in just like before. I just took some magnets and stuck the claw up there, the tooth, just to see how it would look and how it would fit. And it looks like everything's going to be pretty good. So, a bunch of cosmetics to do, weld it out, and get some paint on it, but I think that looks pretty good. Pretty tough right there. That's it. We'll see you on the next one.